Any kind of final remarks before we kind of dive in to some Thursday night football action?
No, let's get into it.
So Thursday night we got Tampa Bay and Chicago. Obviously, we both talked about this in the last podcast. We both like Tampa -4, and I like the prop of Tom Brady under zero point 0.5 interceptions. Basically, I don't think throwing a pick in this game. Tom Brady is one of the most competitive people who has ever played the quarterback position, and he knows the narrative with him and the interceptions and the pick sixes. And I think he's going to make a point not to throw one today. Obviously, easier said than done, but if I had to bet on something, I'd be Tom Brady not making that mistake. What are you looking for in tonight's game?
So I'm looking for a big game from Gronk. There are a few little prop bets here that I like for Gronk. His longest catch being over 17.5 yards. I think he's going to hit one of those drags and get 20 or 25. Over 3.5 receptions. I think Tom's going to target him a lot. O.J. Howard out. Godwin hurt. Evans hobbled. And then finally, over 37.5 receiving yards. So I
So
like
you're
all
all
three
in
of
on
those.
Gronk. You're
All
all
in
in
on
on.
Gronk.
All
All in
right.
on Gronk. I mean, Brady came so close to hitting him in the other game, just
Yeah,
overthrew
you
him in
did.
the end zone. I
You
think
did.
it's kind of like, oh, we haven't been getting Gronk involved. I think Gronk's been like, all right, I took a year off of football. Let me get back into it. I think this is kind of his breakout game for the year. It may be his only breakout game this year, but I think it's going to be this year.
I'm actually with you here. I think Gronk does have a good game. I think it might be one of his few good games of the season. But I think in a short week, Tom Brady is going to kind of go and trust what he knows, and what he knows is Rob Gronkowski. And with OJ Howard out in a Tampa Bay offense that requires two tight ends on the field a lot of the times, with some key weapons like Godwin out, I think he will target Gronkowski more than we're used to. And I think it's going to be enough to win those prop bets that you just mentioned. On the other side of the football field, Chicago Bears, they're 3-1. I really am not impressed with any facet of their game so far. Al Robinson is an absolute machine. Their running game, I think, is very underwhelming so far. We got Nick Foles taking over Mitch Trubisky, and while he has been better, that's not saying much. You know, he led the comeback, and I think everyone got really excited about Nick Foles. But then I think some of us realized that was against the Atlanta Falcons defense, which might be rivaling the Cowboys for the worst defense in the league. I really don't think they have the star power or the firepower to compete with Tampa Bay on a short week. I think we're all going to realize and kind of have a humbling moment for the Chicago Bears at home this Thursday.
So I got some questions for you. Did you
What's up?
know that the Bears are the only team this year that has not allowed a passing touchdown?
That's going to change.
That is going to change. Also, they blitz on 42% of dropbacks. I think Brady is going to be able to see these blitzes coming, dink and dunk them to death, and score some passing touchdowns. Also,
Yeah,
the Bears have won every single game they've played by one possession. And let me just tell you the teams they've played: the Lions, the Giants, and Atlanta. Those are the three games they've won. A combined 1-11 record by those teams. And they've won all three of those games by one possession, in which they should have lost to the Lions as well.
yeah,
So
yeah. Look,
I
this record the Bears are boasting right now, it's very, very misleading.
suspect at best.
Yeah, I think we're all trying to wait and see if Matt Nagy can pull out what he did his rookie year of coaching with Mitch Trubisky and all those exciting plays and the tight end screens, the shovel pass, all that. But this Tampa Bay defense is fast and they're well coached with Todd Bowles there, and I think Tom Brady is going to lead this team to a coast victory with about 3 touchdowns. And let's see if we can get Ronald Jones a couple of rushing touchdowns in there too.
Foles hasn't won a game since 2018 that he started. He hasn't won a game in over 2 years
To be
that he
fair,
started.
he didn't really play last year in Jacksonville,
Still,
and he hasn't played yet this year.
I played last week, took an L.
He did. He did.
So I'm gonna have a hard time seeing him beat Brady. And Brady this year, in his new offense, he started out with a 78.4 passer rating, pretty mediocre, but then bumped up to 80.3, then to 115.8, and then up to 117. He has improved every single week in his quarterback play. Is he learning the system more? Is he getting a little bit more comfortable with this new team? I would say so. I think the Bucs and Brady are going to have enough firepower, and I think they'll win by 2 possessions.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I see this being a 10-point game, pretty much all the way. I think Tampa Bay has a firm lead and good control of the game all the way throughout. Any closing thoughts here before we end the show here, Moss?
I got nothing. Be on the lookout for our reports after the game.
All right. Well, that's going to do it here. We'll see you guys on the other side of week 5 when me and Mossing will dive into a recap of every game over the weekend and give you guys our thoughts there. If you want to leave us any questions, please do so. And that's going to take it for us here at Early Action.
If you
Moss
want to
Patel.
see some live updates, follow us on Twitter at Early Action MP.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
Thanks.